on MeTV.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Ashley Jones filling in for John Hart tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll get to those top stories in just a moment, but first, let's check in with our chief meteorologist, Tim Miller. He's tracking some late night storms for us. Tim.
Yeah, Ashley, we've been tracking these showers and storms since this afternoon. This is a loop that goes back about to 5 hours or so in Live Viper 6. Boy, you notice we have little dots and little triangles, indication of some severe thunderstorm warning. Tonight, though, it started to wind down here, so no more rain over the city itself, but further towards the north into Columbia County, McCormick, then into Lincoln County, some showers over into Wilkes County. None of this is real heavy at all, just really light showers. Heaviest activity is now to the west of our viewing area. Sparta, you've got some decent showers for you, but that's really about it for now. As far as Television Park's concerned, there it is. Our Skyview camera looking fine over Wrightsboro Road and Bobby Jones Expressway. 91 the high today. We started out this morning at 74 degrees. A little bit below where we should be for the high, a little bit above for the overnight low. 74 is where we're at now. 72 in Aiken. We may fall a degree or two further, but that would really be about it. Other than that, we'll see partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. Winds, though, are from the south. Plenty of moisture. Either they're calm, around 3 to 5 miles per hour. Satellite view shows our showers and storms pretty much starting to diminish here, and we'll pick this story up again tomorrow with a chance of afternoon showers and storms. So I'd say 73. Again, I'll put that in there because any leftover shower is pretty much done at midnight. We'll call it muggy conditions, no doubt. And tomorrow is the first day of school for more students across the CSRA. 76 at 8 o'clock, 94 with a few afternoon storms around coming up for tomorrow. All right, we'll talk about the rest of our forecast and take a look at the tropics. All that coming up in just a few minutes. Ashley?
Thanks, Tim. Cleanup is underway following deadly flooding in Kentucky. Officials say extreme heat is slowing down those efforts as communities try to salvage what's left of their homes and businesses. State leaders say that the rebuild could take years and cost millions. And new at 10 tonight, our local Red Cross is taking on a big mission out in Kentucky. Several volunteers are in the eastern part of the state hit the hardest by historic flooding. Tonight, I spoke to one of those volunteers.
We did see a lot of devastation.
Wednesday was the first day on the ground for local 10-year Red Cross volunteer Dean Fichtel.
And it's small creeks that probably in their normal they may have been 2, 3, or 4 feet deep, maybe 2, 3 feet wide. We saw evidence where those creeks would be 25 to 30 feet deep.
He's describing the aftermath of the flooding in the eastern parts of Kentucky. Fichtel says the devastation was in the smaller communities near the mountains.
Just picked up anything and everything that was in its path. Mobile homes that were taken down the creek, houses that were taken off the foundation, cars that were put up into a tree. On top of that, there was trash scattered throughout the roads and mud lines left from the flooding, showing just how high those waters reached. Some people that we saw were just emptying their homes out of the homes that were remaining standing and just flooded with water. Fichtel says he's stationed at a vacant elementary school. His duties, driving the emergency response vehicles and giving out food. We will leave out in the morning, go to a operational kitchen that makes up food. We put them in these big containers, and then we drive to the distribution point wherever we're going to serve the food. And again, that's usually in an area that has very much need. He says their goal is to try to get the food to the people in the areas that experience the most devastation. He and his team will distribute 2 meals per day, as well as snacks, clothes, and other essentials. He says while the damage was great, he believes there is hope for restoration. The president and CEO of Piedmont Augusta and Piedmont McDuffie, formerly known as University Healthcare System, is retiring. James Davis has more than 30 years of experience in the healthcare system. He first came to Augusta in 2009. He is credited with acquiring McDuffie Regional Medical Center and building a new facility, saving the former Trinity Hospital from closing by purchasing it, navigating University Hospital, joining the Piedmont system, and launching a partnership with Augusta Tech to annually train hundreds of nurses beginning next year. We talked to James Davis at Piedmont Ribbons Cutting back in March.
You know, it really means that University Healthcare System will live on through Piedmont for the next 40, 50 years, easy. Without joining an organization like a Piedmont, standalone hospitals are very much at risk from a financial standpoint for the future. This gives us economies of skill and scale to make sure that we're here to serve the greater Augusta community for a long time to come.
Mr. Davis will remain CEO until December. A committee including some local Piedmont Augusta board members and Piedmont Healthcare CEO Kevin Brown will conduct a national search for his replacement. A bigger payday is on the way for Augusta City workers. Worried about a 25% vacancy in city positions, commissioners approved a new financial plan in an attempt to hold on to city workers. The plan calls for a 3% pay raise for workers who didn't get one last year and bonuses ranging from $1,000 to $2,500.
Because our sales tax collections have outpaced our assumptions previously, we are very comfortable in both the projections that we've seen as well as our revenue goals for the future years.
So this won't result in layoffs or tax increases?
No, absolutely not.
Now, going forward, the pay raises will add about $1.9 million to next year's budget. Today, city leaders began working on the 2023 spending plan. South Carolina Highway Patrol will be out in full force in Aiken County this week. They're partnering with local law enforcement to crack down on dangerous driving. Here's News Channel 6's Mary Calkins.
Area Coordinating Enforcement, or ACE, is in full swing in Aiken. It's an operation where South Carolina Highway Patrol uses crash data to pinpoint areas where speeding, aggressive, or drunk driving is most prevalent. In those areas, they increase officer presence.
The South Carolina Department of Public Safety's main goal is Target Zero, and that's Target Zero traffic deaths.
Lance Corporal Tyler Tidwell says ACE has been successful in cutting down on traffic fatalities and collisions. In South Carolina, there have been 75 fewer fatalities in 2022 compared to August of last year, and ACE has helped crack down on crime.
From July 2021 to June 2022, that team made 368 DUI arrests, 408 drug cases, 151 reckless driving cases, and 1,099 speeding cases where individuals were traveling 25 miles an hour or more over their speed limit.
You won't be able to spot South Carolina Highway Patrol in the targeted areas. Lance Corporal Tidwell says part of ACE's success is the use of unmarked vehicles.
The unmarked vehicles allow our law enforcement officers to blend in with traffic, and they can more accurately, or they have a better chance of catching those individuals that are aggressively driving and speeding.
Targeted areas in Aiken include I-20, US 278, and SC 421. In Aiken, Mary Calkins, WJBF News Channel 6.
A bill to provide more money for law enforcement in rural counties with less than 200 officers is now closer to becoming a law. Sponsored by Senator Warnock, the Invest to Protect Act would mean more funding for counties like Burke and Screven. The $50 million grant program would help to invest in training, equipment, mental health support, and officer recruitment and retention. It unanimously passed the Senate and is now headed to the president's desk. Some medical relief is in sight for Iraq and Afghanistan war veterans that were exposed to toxic burn pits. The U.S. Senate passed that legislation last night. PACT, or Promise to Address Comprehensive Toxics, put $280 million over the next decade toward helping 3.5 million veterans with health issues from burn pits. The burn pits were used to torch everything from jet fuel to human waste and were located next to camps. Republicans initially voted in favor of the bill, but did an about-face last week.
U.S. government sends its forces into harm's way. The government assumes a sacred obligation to care for them when they get home. And in war after war after war, whether it's Agent Orange in Vietnam or Gulf War syndrome or burn pits in Iraq and Afghanistan, the U.S. government has failed to stand up for American veterans. And it's a disgrace.
President Biden is expected to sign the bill into law in the next few days. Gregory McMichaels, the man who initiated the neighborhood chase that resulted in Ahmaud Arbery's death, is asking to not be sentenced to life. His attorney is also asking the federal judge to transfer McMichael to a federal prison, citing concerns about his safety in Georgia's prison system. McMichael is scheduled to be sentenced Monday along with his son, Travis, and their neighbor, William Rhodey Bryan, for hate crimes.
We are on the verge of not having that process anymore because we are not going to have enough committed citizen individuals.
Still ahead, a committee holding its first hearing over threats to